fellow motorcycle enthusiasts, if you're watching this, I'd wager you have an interest for motorcycle content on YouTube and perhaps travel videos in particular. You'll probably be all too familiar with the typical beginning of most overseas motorcycle trips, the obligatory scene of a middle-aged man on a motorcycle boarding a ferry. So cue middle-aged man on a motorcycle boarding a ferry.
Hi, you okay? Yeah, I am, yeah. Filming my holiday.
Yeah. What's your flag? We're going to subscribe.
My own adventure started with a departure from Hull in East Yorkshire, catching the ferry to Holland. While this may not be the most budget-friendly way to cross to the continent, the overnight journey does offer a significant advantage. You can start your first day abroad feeling rested and ready to explore. I'm nice and settled in my cabin now and I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep. We dock at 7 o'clock in the morning in Rotterdam at the Europort, and then I'm heading down to the Black Forest, ride a little bit of that area, and then heading down to the Alps. Now the plan is to spend most of my time down there doing a big circuit of the area. That's the Bavarian Alps, Austrian Alps, the Dolomites, and then the Western Alps, where I'll be challenging myself to some off-road riding up the old military roads to the mountaintop fortifications that border Italy and France, then heading north through Switzerland, and then I'll kind of head back up, maybe a little bit through France, Belgium, and then back to the ferry port again in 12 days time. I haven't booked any accommodation. I felt that I have to be fluid. I've done my planning, I've looked at Google Maps, I've worked a route out, but you can never factor in for things like traffic and road closures and breaks. You might want to stay somewhere a little bit longer than you intended because it's nice and you want to have a look around. And I've got to get off the bike as well as on the bike and enjoy the atmosphere and soak it up. So it's a loose plan. The priority is to have fun and enjoy it. Arriving on a cold, wet Dutch September morning in Rotterdam emphasised a desire to get the trip started and head south to warmer, hopefully drier weather. This was going to be the long and boring bit. I had 360 miles of motorway to travel, so after a refuel and breakfast it was time to get going. And after a few hours, as any biker will sympathise, my backside started aching, which meant that I had to shuffle my bottom around to ease the pressure and take regular off-bike breaks. However, the further south we ventured, the sun eventually came out and the temperature started rising, which was a pleasant distraction for any discomfort I was feeling. Before long, I'd arrived at my first stopover near Baden-Baden. We're in. After a good night's rest, the real fun will start tomorrow. The next morning, after a rather lovely breakfast at this farm shop, it was time to hit the road. The B500 to be exact, a popular scenic biker route through Germany's famous Black Forest, or more locally known as the Schwarzenwald National Park. However, with traffic it wasn't the most fluid of starts, but soon I was powering on ahead and soaking up the smooth tarmac, bends, switchbacks and views over the Rhine Valley that most bikers dream of riding. After a great morning's ride around the Black Forest, it was time to head south. However, the weather had other ideas and it dumped a load of rain on me. Us Brits are used to the rain, so I just cracked on without whinging. Well, not that the camera mic would pick up anyway. This was the perfect opportunity to grab a schnitzel, wait it out, where my patience would soon be rewarded and the sun soon reappeared. Initially, my plan was to stick to the back roads, taking time to soak in the beautiful scenery that southern Germany had to offer. However, it soon became apparent that I wasn't alone with this idea. Almost everyone else seemed to have the same plan, resulting in unexpectedly heavy traffic along the scenic routes, thus slowing progress. As enjoyable as the surroundings were, I still had approximately 250 miles ahead of me, so I made the decision to rejoin the Autobahn in order to reach my next destination, which was Garmisch-Partenkirchen in Bavaria. Soon the Bavarian Alps appeared. I had a realization that I had finally arrived and achieved a long-held dream. Heavy rain last night. That didn't help me in getting a good night's sleep. So it was up, pack the camping gear away, a quick look round, breakfast, buy a fridge magnet, then get on the road. I wanted to get deeper into the Alps. My itinerary was changing already, so the next stop, Italy. I'll have to make a point of visiting again when the weather is better. A short hop and I was in Austria. The weather was improving and the roads drying out, which gave me the confidence to relax and start enjoying the twisties. So I'll leave you for a while to enjoy them too. Passing through pretty little Austrian towns, the valley soon opened up, and I could only begin to imagine what views I was missing under this low cloud cover. In places, the sun broke the cloud to reveal picture postcard scenes in every direction. Before I knew it, I was entering the region of the Dolomite Mountains, towering above me, but seemingly close enough that I could reach out and touch their peaks. short break and the obligatory fridge magnet purchase, and a cheeky little smile from the lady in the white top at Lago di Mussarina, it was time to ride the mountain pass Passo Tre Cocci to my final destination, Cortina di Ampezzo. Apologies for any mispronunciation. A day off the bike today. I'd had 3 long days of hard riding in changeable weather and I needed a break.
Hello.
So being in Cortina di Ampezzo in Italy was the perfect place to walk, take in the mountain views, take time looking around the historic town centre, relax and of course enjoy the food. When the snow comes again, this cool little town will be transformed as it will be hosting the 2026 Winter Olympics. As for accommodation, I'd been camping, and to be honest, the setup and takedown routine was getting a bit tedious. Also, due to the previous night's rain and very dewy mornings, the gear was getting packed away damp, and I wasn't really getting enough sleep. It was just out of holiday season and I found that the price of a hotel wasn't that much dearer than what I was paying for a campsite. And breakfast was normally included too. So I decided after today's ride I'd push the boat out and treat myself to a comfy bed, ensuite shower and the opportunity to recharge batteries and dry my camping gear out. Day 5 of my trip, and after being well fed and rested, it was time to hit the passes again. Goodbye Cortina di Ampezzo, you were amazing. Today's ride would see me riding the Falzarego and Fedea passes. After a quick stop to check my bearings, I thought that I must be on a good route by the sheer number of other motorcyclists heading in my direction. So I gate crashed that rider's party and set off to which I feel was going to be an amazing day's riding. Before long, I'd reached the summit of the Falzarego Pass. If I thought the ride up was epic, then I was in for a very pleasant surprise because the way back down was even better. I don't know if you can be even more blown away, even though you thought you were already blown away, but it certainly felt like that, because every new day was proving to be even better than the previous. I really felt like I'd settled down and found my groove on this trip, and I was loving every second of it. It was getting late in the afternoon and I'd booked a hotel for the night, which was still several hours away. I managed to work out a lovely route along the SS641 to the Fedea Pass, where I took a break and enjoyed the views of the mountain ranges and bottle green water of Lake Fedea itself. Here is situated the Marmolada Glacier, often called the Queen of the Dolomites, as it's Italy's largest glacier. After that rather lovely scenic short break, it was time to get going. Next stop, Males Venosta, where I had a hotel booked for the night. After passing a group of motorcyclists who were taking a break on a roundabout, wonders will never cease, I found myself taking a wrong turn, which can always be a way of mistakenly discovering something different. In this case, a little country lane through a vineyard. Once back on the route, I was almost at my final destination of the day, and when I arrived I was slightly confused. Had I, without knowing it, strayed back into Austria? For the architectural style of the buildings and writings would suggest exactly that, and also everyone seemed to be talking German. But no, I was still in Italy. After the First World War and under the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye, Austria had to hand over large parts of its territory. So I was in the region of what was formerly known as South Tyrol, now called Alto Adige. It seems that the local Italian citizens have clung on to their Germanic roots. Once checked into my hotel, I was pleasantly surprised by my accommodation. It was spacious and comfortable, and the staff extremely welcoming. This was a chance to recharge batteries and have a chill out whilst reflecting on a fantastic day. Even my bike met a travelling companion. For tomorrow and the following days, the best was yet to come.